Who did that? That was great. Take a deep breath. That was great. So much fun. So come, whoever you are. We've been here before. And so we're back.
Come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Come again. Come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Come again. Come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Come again. Come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Come again. Come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Come again. Come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Come again. Come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Come again. Come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Come again. Come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vow 1,000 times. Come again. Come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Come again. Come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Come again. Come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Come again.
ועדת הקהל בשבעה של מעלה ובשבעה של מטה על דת המקום. ועדת הקהל בשבעה של מעלה ובשבעה של מטה אנו מתירים אל תטע מקום ואל תטע קהל
בישיבה של מעלה ובישיבה של מטה. אל תטע מקום ואל תטע קהל.
בישיבה של מעלה ובישיבה של מטה אנו מתירים להתפלל אל
ושרי וחרמי וקונמי וכינויי וכינוסי שבועות דין דנה ולהשתבנה ודאחרים נא וליאסרנה על נפשתנה מיום הכיפורים שעבר עד יום הכיפורים זה הבא עלינו הבא עלינו לטובה. איי 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 כול הון איי 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 חרטנה בהון כול הון יהון שערה שביל שביתי בתהילין ומבוטלים לקים שביתי בתהילין ומבוטלים לשרירין ולקיימין נדרנה לא נדרה וסרנה ושבועתנה לא שבועות.
Kol Nidre ve'esarel v'charameh ve'konameh ve'chinuyeh ve'kinuseh u'shevuot. Din darna וטובה כולהון יחרדנה בהון כולהון יהון שרן שוויקין שביטין ותלין ומבוטלין שוויקין שביטין ותלין ומבוטלין לשרירים ולקיימים נדרנה לנדרה וסרנה לאסרה ושבועתנה לשבועות
Kol Nidre Yasare Vacharame Koname Vechinuye Vekinuse Moshavos Din Darna Unishtabana Uneacharina Uneasarna Al nafshasana Miyom kippurim ezeh Ad yom kippurim haba le'enu לטובה ולהון יחרדנה בהון ולהון יהון שרן שוויקין
שביטין ותלין ומבוטלין שוויקין שביטין ותלין ומבוטלין
לשרירין ולקיימים נדרנה לנדרה ויסרנה לאסרה ושבועתנה לשבועות
ונסלח לכל הדת בני ישראל
העם הזה כגודל חסדך, וכאשר נסעת לעם הזה ממצרים ועד הנה, ושם נאמר.
ויאמר אדוני, סלחתי כדבריך. ויאמר אדוני, סלחתי כדבריך. ויאמר אדוני, סלחתי
Every year I remind us that this is, in the words of Rav Yosef Ber Soloveitchik, the best, the highest Shechianu of the year. We're going to make a lot of Shechianus, a lot of returning to places, saying, wow, we're here again. But this is the most important one because obvious reasons. We made it another year. God should bless us with another one. On page 5, everybody. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Shana Tova, everybody. There used to be a little shtick that Romemu did a number of years ago when we would, remember this? We would just kind of like, who we are. There would be like, some of us have never been to shul, some of us have come every week, some of us prefer downward dog and then to, upward, I don't know, Amidah or something, I don't know. But I think that a word of welcome to all of you who are here. Look out and see so many familiar faces and many unfamiliar faces. And so just like a welcome, how lucky are we that you chose to spend Yom Kippur with us in this way, the holiest day of our calendar. And so it's not insignificant at all to us that you're here with us, because without you, right, we would be diminished. If you're here, you're adding something, and we're so thankful. I want to just think, who's here from like way, like East Side. He was like, anybody? Anybody? Like, no. It was like, oh, okay, a couple of people, East Siders, okay. All right. Anybody from, like, you know, around the corner, you know? Okay, come around the corners. And how many people here for the first time? Anybody here for the first time? Oh, yeah, all right, welcome, good to have you. And online also, I'm sure we have a couple of people here for the first time. And if you're a regular here with us and join us from wherever you are, like I can see people from Florida and from, you know, yeah, New Jersey and dear friends, and who knows, Toronto, around the corner. What a blessing it is that you're with us this evening and throughout the Chag. We're decidedly numerous here on the stage, and we have quite a number of very talented prayer leaders here with us. And so, just if you could just acknowledge, just like, wow, this amazing. How lucky are we, right? Shechayanu, for this remarkable music, remarkable daveners. You know, it's not lost on me, and it's certainly not lost on people that work in the Jewish field, that there are people who come and who are extremely fluent in what's happening. They're like, you know, they grew up with the melodies, they grew up with being in synagogue, they know the ups and the downs, and the up and the downs, and the ups and the downs. They know the page numbers, they know all the things. And then there are folks who just, you know, for whom this is their first time here in a synagogue, in a church, in a synagogue, I don't know, here. And it always reminds me of a very well-known story that has a number of different iterations and a lot of different styles. You know, the Baal Shem Tov, who was the great founder of the Hasidic movement, which I and many like me find our home in various ways. The Baal Shem Tov was known to have told a story about a young boy. People are nodding probably, like there's a young boy who comes into the synagogue and doesn't really know the prayers. In some versions, he was an orphan. In some versions, right, he had just found his way in, and he was illiterate. He didn't know the letters. And in one version, he has a flute. In another version, he just knows letters. And in both of them, he doesn't know this book, right? He doesn't know this book. And so he stands in the middle of the synagogue, somewhere way over there, over here, right, and starts to just say the Aleph Bet, the ABCs, or just, you know, throw out some notes on his flute. And everybody starts to say, no, not in the synagogue, no. Inappropriate. Like a tiger, right, in the middle, like Nietzsche, tiger in the middle of the... And the Baal Shem Tov said, no, you know, all of our prayers, there was a kind of an obstacle to our prayers ascending, the Baal Shem Tov said. And when that little boy with his innocence and his sincerity and his truth offered those letters and was trying to make an effort, it broke the heavens wide open. And so I hope that, you know, if your home is not in these letters and words, maybe you'll try and you'll read some of them. And if not, you'll close your eyes and you'll find your letters and your flute. And you'll find a way to pray here with us tonight and throughout the Chag, throughout the holiday. Because it's really important. Sometimes we say too many words and pray too little. And for some, that might not be the way. Like for me, I want to hear the words. I love them. They bring me into communion with my ancestors in a certain way, but that might not be your way. So we hope that you'll find your way in. We have a remarkable poet in our community, and she's here to give us our Yom Kippur Kol Nidre poem before we rise once again for Ma'ariv, for evening prayers. Sharon Dolan.
If there is no such thing as standing, if there is only being held up, then do hold me up to see the treetops, the crowns of heads, the flights of bees. Let me feel your wing folds at my back, the graze of fins, the clasp of hands. Let me enter each unfurling moment, companioned by the scene and the unseen. If this now is where I might find you, as I roam the fields, as I dip into the lake, oh, raise me up, dear friends. Oh, invisible one, keep me aloft.
Page 9. אלוהינו מלך עולם, אשר בדברו מרי וחוכמה בוטח.
הוא מעביר יום ומביא לילה, הוא מבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני.
ברוך הוא ברוך שמו ילידי page 10, נבעתו לבית ישראל המחפת. ונשמח בדברי תורתך ומצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו, אורך ימינו, ובהם נגד יומם, והלילה ואהבתך. אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני.
ברוך הוא ברוך שמו.
We prepare for Shema, page 11.
Shema.
מצוותיי אשמכם וצוותכם גם לערב. הישמרו לכם בין יבטי לבבכם וצאתם עברתם ולכם. ושמתם את דברי לבבכם על נפשכם וקשרתם את אמונותיכם. למען יראו ימיכם על page 13. At the top of the page, we may benechem al adama asher nishba Adonai laavotechem. מהשמיים על הארץ ויום מאדוני על משה ודבר על בני ישראל ואמרת להם על כנפי לי והלכם לציצי דבריתם אותו וזכרתם את חצות למען תסגרו עשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לכם מעניין
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
the bottom of page 14. How many of you here in this room tonight can think back to a moment this year, or maybe even last year, that something that you imagined was an obstacle, ahead of you was removed, maybe. Maybe new obstacles came too. But each and every night and each and every morning, we remind ourselves of our story of perseverance and eventual liberation. Songs of liberation are often not written in one evening, but over many, many notebooks and many, many decades and seasons. We keep our eye on that final song, page 14. On page 15, everyone. Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Baruch Atah Adonai.
Aporei sukat shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol kol yoshvei tefen.
Ve'al Yerushalayim.
Please rise, everyone. Find the words of our ancestors on the bottom of page 17. This verse from Leviticus 16. On this day, we can achieve atonement, forgiveness, softening, opening, alignment, attunement, integration, reconnection, clarity. Ki vayom hazeh. Ki vayom hazeh. Yichaper aleichem, litacher etchem, litaher etchem, mikol chatotechem, lifnei Adonai, lifnei Adonai, titharu, ay, 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 Yiskadan V'yiskadash Shemei Rabba V'yolima Divrach Yehusei V'yamnich Malchusei B'chayei The silent Amidah, which includes our first vidui and confession, can be found on page 31. We rise for Slichot on page 53.
יעלה זיכרוננו בערב ויבוא בידינו מבוקר. ויראה הדרתנו עד הארץ. יעלה דופקנו לערב ויבוא גילנו מבוקר. ויראה בקשתנו עד הארץ.
Page 55. page 56. The 13 attributes of divine love and compassion, forgiveness in the middle of the page. Adonai,
Adonai, Erachum Vechanun, Erech Hayim Verachesed Emet, Notzer Chesed Alavim, Notzer Avon V'Averah, V'Chata V'Nageh. Adonai, Adonai, Erachum Vechanun, Erech Hayim Verachesed Emet, Notzer Chesed L'Alavim, Notzer Avon V'Averah, V'Chata compassion and tenderness, patience, forbearance, kindness, awareness, bearing love from age to age, lifting guilt and mistakes, and making us free.
Page 57. Shema Koleinu Adonai Eloheinu, Chos Rachem Aleinu, V'kabel b'rachamim u'ratzon es tefilosenu.
Shema Kolenu Adonai Eloheinu, Chus v'rachem aleinu, v'kabel b'rachamim u'ratzon, et tefilotenu.
Shivenu Adonai lecha v'nashuva, Kadesh Yameinu, Kekedem.
השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה, חדש ימינו כקדם.
תשליכנו מלפניך, ברוח קודשך אל תיקח ממנו.
I
Eloheinu, Eloheinu, Elohi Avoteinu, Imoteinu, Slach lanu, Mechal lanu, Taveh lanu. Ki anu amecha ve'ata Eloheinu, anu amecha ve'ata avinu, anu amecha ve'ata Eloheinu, anu ve'ata Elokeinu, anu לפנים, ואתה רחום וחנוננו, כשעורף יתאר כפיים, אנו מלאי עוון, אתה מלא רחמים, אנו ימינו כצל עובר, ואתה הוא, ושנותיך לא יתאמו. איי, איי, איי,
Hey,
to recognize that sometimes when we come into a shul, there's a big finger wagging at us and saying, and sometimes we just need also to hear that just as we brought a bit of shadow into the world, we also have great light to share. So let's say this together and breathe them in. We have loved our fellow human beings, ahavnu. We have wept at their misfortunes, bachinu. We have done good deeds, gamalnu chesed. We have spoken well of others, dibarnu yofi. We have trusted you, hermanu. We have strived to do well, vishtadalnu. We have remembered our people's past, zacharnu. We have embraced our traditions, chibaknu. We have valued learning, ta'amnu sefer. We have created new paths to righteousness, yatzarnu. We have yearned for Zion, kamahanu. We have fought for justice, lachamnu avur tzedek. We have taken full advantage of all that is good, ritzinu et hatov. We have tried our best, nisinu. We have not averted our eyes, sarfnu lirot. We have acted in accordance with your will, asinu asher tziditanu. We have shared our wealth with others, virashnu. Right. Tzedaknu lefamim. We have called on you for assistance, karanu bishmecha. We have desired to do what's right, rasinu. We have rejoiced in all our blessings, samachnu. And we have supported those in need of support, tamachnu. Turn to page 65, the bottom of the page, for the Al-Chet. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha be'onetz v'ratzon, Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha.
ועל כולם אלוהי סליחות, סלח לנו מלחמנו
כולם לסליחות, סלח לנו, חלה, אחרי שחטאנו בדרך ברצון. Page 67, אחרי שחטאנו בדרך בשפיטת עול.
ועל כולם אלוהי סליחות, סלח לנו מלחמנו
אלוה הסליחות, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, תסדחן לי, סלח לנו, שיתי שום מרודו ודור, ומלך לנו מלך ומוכם סלח לאתה. As we rise or stay standing for the Avinu Malkeinu on page 72. Rachshai Shamayim Nitziratzenu Avinu Malkeinu Chatanu Lefanecha Avinu Malkeinu Ein Lanu Melech Elad Avinu Malkeinu Avinu Malkeinu 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 Avinu Malkeinu Kal Yitzchok Tzar Masim Aleinu Avinu Malkeinu Kal Dever V'Chever Azu מלכינו חזירנו בתשובה שלמה לפניך ואילו מלכינו שלח גופו שלמה לכל יעמך ואילו מלכינו זכרנו בזיכרון הטוב לפניך, מלמקנו. כתבנו בספר חיים הטובים ולמקנו, כתבנו בספר גבולה משמעת. וינו מלכנו, כתבנו בספר פרנסה וחלקה, וינו מלכנו. כתבנו בספר זכויות, וינו מלכנו. הרם קרן ישראל, עמך וינו מלכנו שמע קולנו. כמול עלינו ויעלול עלינו ותבינו ולמלכנו אצלנו על הרוגים על שם קודשך. אמינו מלכנו, אימנו מלכתנו עשינו, למען תבוכים על ייחודך.
אבינו מלכנו, אבינו מלכנו, אבינו מלכנו, חננו מלכנו, כי אין בנו מעשים, עשינו
Jeff Kahn, Romemu's executive director.
Shatava. One of the most common things I hear people say about Rabbi Ingber's sermons is, I can't believe he wrote that sermon just for me. Ever felt that? Me too. In fact, I want to thank you, Rabbi, for addressing your entire Rosh Hashanah sermon on the healing power of tears just to me. The plaintive cries of the shofar, the rabbi said, are a reminder of all that was dreamt and of all the hopes broken and shattered, speaking directly to me to explain why I spend so much time on these holidays in synagogue in tears. It was not always so. Until I found Romemu, synagogue was decidedly not a place I associated with tears. Growing up, the only tears I ever shed around synagogue was protest in going in the first place. Then at my first Romemu service in 2006, in fact, the first Romemu service, after years of searching, I spontaneously wept. Tears of gratitude for finding a Jewish spiritual community that I felt I could call home. And since then, the tears have kept flowing. I cried when I first heard Shir Yaakov's Higalena, Ariel Korman's Healing Prayers, Laura Wolf, Who by Fire. For years, I would sit in the sanctuary on 105th Street, as close to the bare ground as I could get, sitting on the floor, marinating in the music and the prayer and the rabbi's words. In the silence, sometimes I would weep, and sometimes they'd be tears of gratitude. But at that time in my life, for a long time, they were tears of sorrow. A troubled child, a failing marriage, illness. Then one day, surrounded by the Romemu community that I had grown to love, we buried Lily, the mother of my kids, Simon and Isabel, and I cried. And by what can only be described as a miracle, a true miracle, a few years later, I was under the chuppah, again surrounded by my Romemu community, and again crying. I know I'm not alone. Who here has not cried from time to time at Romemu? Then after a decade as a congregant, 5 years ago, I became our executive director. And now, I just don't cry nearly as much. I cry more. I still cry at the usual bar mitzvahs and baby when they put the baby on the Torah scroll. But now I also cry for things that only I see behind the scenes at Romemu. Like when I say muchas gracias, amigos, to Erica and Leo and Freddie for setting up or cleaning up after our services and our meals, knowing the unimaginable hardship they went through to seek asylum here in America, and the fact that their employment at Romemu is made possible by a gift from one unbelievably generous family here, and literally is keeping them and their families alive. Sometimes I cry from the weight of the responsibility I feel to this congregation and to this clergy, the musicians, to my staff. It has been a few difficult years. If you've been a member and following the struggles emerging from the pandemic has been tough, like for many shoals, and some of you have responded to our cries for help. Thank you. At times it's been hard for me to see the right way forward. Until recently, it's become clearer. With the coming sale of the building, I have more confidence than ever that Romemu will be here and will be here strong for our children and our children's children. We will undoubtedly find a great new space for our day-to-day congregational needs that's accessible and whose appearance and function is as elevated as our davening. Best of all, we'll be able to direct more of our precious resources to our music, our clergy, our classes, family, our community, and not to the mortgage. That means a lot less tears for me. We're excited to welcome you, the community, into a visioning process which will begin right after the Chagim to help plot out what to do with the proceeds of the sale and how to invest the funds that many in this community, myself included, originally gifted. But it will still be at least a year until we see any benefits from that sale. And even then, we'll always need the community's philanthropic support. So while I'm excited for the future, for now, I'm more concerned about the proverbial morning after the Chagim. When the dancing in Simchas Torah stops, the sukkah comes down, and once again, it's just a regular day at Romemu. There'll be a congregant in need of the rabbi's advice. There'll be a bris. There'll be a bar mitzvah. Undoubtedly, inevitably, there will be a shiva. A kid struggling in Seekers. After the ecstasy, to quote Jack Kornfield, the laundry. So I know I'll get a call next Tuesday from Shimon, our music director, who's in charge of scheduling the davening team for the rest of the year. Shalom, Jeff. How many musicians can I hire for the Shabbat after Sukkot, he'll ask me. And are we having a community meal after services? And you should know, both myself and Rabbi Ingber are away the third weekend in November. Can we bring in Noah Solomon? Epicurus? Chazan Basya? And then he's going to ask me, are we or aren't we confirming a Shabbat before the end of the year with Jessica? Jessica? We're talking with our beloved Rabbi Jessica Kate Meyer about the possibility of coming back to Romemu for a Shabbat in residence sometime this fall. There's a lot of possibility in the air. So, Shimon, I do not have all the answers for you yet, but y'all can help. So consider for a moment what's important to you, what brings tears to your eyes. Put the slide on. So each of you got a form when you came in. There's a cute little sticker in the left-hand corner of your page. You can peel it off if you would and stick it on one of the boxes. And then you'll hand it down the aisles to an usher if you would. It's going to be the difference between having and having not what we all love about Romemu. So on Tuesday morning, when I see how close we came to our goal, Shimon, I'll call you. I can guarantee that one way or another, there will be tears. Shana tova, gmar chatima tova.
its will guide you home and ignite your bones. I will drive you love, tears streaming down your face when you lose something you cannot erase. Tears streaming down your face, and tears streaming down your face. I promise you I will learn from my mistakes. Tears streaming down your face, and this will guide you home and ignite your bones. I will try to hold על דת המקום ועל דת הקהל, בשיבה של מעלה ושיבה של מטה. על דת המקום ועל דת הקהל, בשיבה של מעלה ושיבה של מטה. אנו מתירים להתפלל עם העבריינים. דת המקום ועל דת הקהל, בשיבה של מעלה ושיבה של מטה. דת המקום ועל דת הקהל, בשיבה של מעלה ושיבה של מטה. אנו מתירים להתפלל עם העבריינים.
אנו מתירים להתפלל עם העבריינים. Anu, we are permitted, matirin lihitpalel, to pray with the avaryanim, with these sinners. What a strange phrase that is. Who are the anu, the we, and who are the avaryanim, the sinners? And what's it doing here on the holiest night of the year? These two questions feel essential for us to answer tonight. And the answer feels like a prerequisite to enter into the transformative power of this day. There are historical answers, and Occam's razor demands that we offer them here. The historical answer to this question has everything to do with a desire to heal splits in the Jewish community. First, in the first century, between followers of a charismatic rabbi named Jesus and those who saw those Jews as heretics. And then later, referring to those Jews who had converted during the Spanish Inquisition, those conversos wanted to re-enter into the community. And although many did leave Judaism, many did seek to come back to the community. And so this prayer was a way of maximizing, right, the communal space. We are giving ourselves permission to pray with those sinners. But that historical answer explains only its origins, but doesn't explain its presence here tonight. And though some of you might think there are schisms, and there are now in the Jewish community, that might pit one person against another, and we might need this clause to say, oh, I'll pray with them. For me, for you, for us here tonight. Who is the anu? Who are the we? And who are the avaryanim, the sinners? I found an answer to both of these questions, or what I think is an answer, or an answer that satisfies me. I hope it works for you guys. And a number of other insights into tonight in a very strange place, although after Coldplay's inclusion in our high holidays, it might not be that shocking to you. From the Torah of popular culture, in a show called The Bear. Oh, yeah. For those of you who have heard of it, the show is about a restaurant full of really broken people trying to heal and rebuild their lives. In it, a young chef, Carmen Berzatto, inherits his family's Italian beef sandwich shop after the suicide of his older brother, Michael. He comes home to Chicago to run that sandwich shop, leaving behind his world of working in a Michelin star restaurant. He's left to deal with his brother's unresolved debts, a rundown kitchen, and an unruly staff, while dealing with his own pain and his own family trauma. The show was nominated for 13 Emmys. I started watching it and I couldn't stop. I loved it. The Bear is raw, it's naked, it pulls no punches, and it's in your face with how messy life can be. The staff at the aptly named restaurant called The Original Beef, each holding their own resentments and angers, all of them an admixture of different types with different issues, but bound by a love for the business, a love for Carmi's charismatic brother, a desire to honor that legacy, and a sense that working at The Original Beef is what centers their life and gives it purpose. What I love most about the show, and what I can corroborate from my own experience having worked in New York City restaurants for over a decade, is that it opens a window into how unflinchingly messy it is in the kitchen. In the kitchens, everybody has got stuff. In the kitchens, no one is immune from the shadow and the thoughts and the feelings and actions that are just beneath the surface, often hidden from others and perhaps even from ourselves, until the right conditions present themselves, and voila, out it comes, the bear. The messiness of the kitchen and the truth that each one of us brings our stuff feels really true to me, and maybe to some of you. We don't escape having to do the work of repair No one here is immune from hurting and being hurt by others. We all know what it is to have parts of ourselves that are not what we immediately tell the world about, not our resume building parts, the parts of ourselves that are in the kitchen, so to speak, behind the scenes, parts that we only say to our therapist or perhaps only show to our family. Think early morning on a Wednesday morning. You and your partner have important meetings to get to, and the children are having difficulty getting out of the house, and you kind of get it, right? It's kind of right there. The show centers brokenness. The front of the house where we get our meals is nourishing, but it's pretty. Servers serve you their food. It's all lovely. A maitre d' comes and asks you if you need anything. But the back of the house, ooh. I once worked in a restaurant called Garlic Bob's. It's true. It's true. And the head chef, Babs, was a very difficult person to work with. She had scars all the way up and down her arms from all the burns being around the ovens and the stoves. And one day she could be really sweet, and the next day she could be snapping at you. When you walked into the kitchen, you didn't know what bear would show up. And so, walking into the kitchen, getting messy, the show, in so many ways, is about the often not really understood elements of Yom Kippur. We're here, right, all dressed to kill, as Leonard Cohen would say. But in the temple, when Yom Kippur was around, if you looked at the high priest, he'd be full of blood from head to toe. In fact, the entire ritual is messy beyond belief. The Kohen Gadol, the great priests, and all of those around spend almost the entire day changing out of one set of clothes to another just to become white like this. Because this white always gets messy, doesn't it? And so the show focuses on the messy, on the behind the scenes. If you ask somebody, hey, do you want to volunteer and become a part of a synagogue? They say, listen, I'm loving the shul, but I don't want to see how they make the kosher sausage. Right? I mean, right? No, don't put me in the kitchen. Don't put me in the kitchen. No, I don't want, no. I just want to look at the dish, not what went into the dish. In the Bear, we're all in the messy kitchen. And to answer our two questions, all of us are sinners needing redemption, living in the night, as it were, in our shadows. We are all avaryanim, all of us. But the beautiful part about the show, and the answers it offers to what is really happening on Yom Kippur, is it just to show us the deep wounds and the wounding that each character creates, but it offers a path towards redemption and healing and release. It's true, the show seems to say, people say and do hurtful things, people leave and then they come back. But one thing remains constant: they need one another to grow. They need one another deeply. And despite the fear each has and the shadow each one carries, there's an enduring feeling that each part needs the other part to be whole. Each me needs the we. Right? Anu, 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 anu matirin. Oh, that little word that could, anu. Anu means we, and if you look throughout the liturgy, the we, the anu, weaves its way through. Anu, amecha, vi'ata, anu, anu, anu. Anu means me and you. Me and you, anu, matirin. When we are together, anu, then we are also not only the part of the problem, but the core of the solution. It's the we that heals them in this restaurant. It is the we on Yom Kippur that is the way in. And although it's a small word, it poses a big challenge. Because recognizing that we are part of the problem That it's not only them who are the sinners, not only them who are making the problems, not only them. That takes guts. At one point in the show, the main character, Carmi, who's been working with Sid, this incredible sous chef, and she's an African-American woman, and she's in the industry, and the whole show is so radically beautiful in this way, and the two of them are learning. He's teaching her, and they're studying together, and she's super talented, and he knows it, and he's trying to support her and be her coach and be her mentor, and she makes a dish for him, and it's really bad. And he's drinking it, and he's like, salty. It's like, and he says to her, too salty, too salty, too salty. And he's angry, he's kind of biting at her. And she immediately feels that she pulls away and feels really chastised. And then he immediately starts to rub his hand on his chest, yeah, like this. And she thinks, oh my God, did I give you heartburn? Oh my God, you must have heartburn. And for the first time, maybe in television history, a white man apologizes to a black woman and says to her, no, you misunderstand. This is sign for I'm sorry. Like we're doing tonight here, like this. Anu, he says, Anu, I'm a leader. I'll be first. I'm sorry. That was, too harsh. So sorry. Anu, he said, no, it's not just you, not just me too. I take my part in it. Because Anu means all of us together. Anu is the way of we, and the way of we works. What? The way of we works. Get that? We works. It does. Let's look at a couple of ways that we works. We works because it reminds us that we're not alone in our imperfections. It acknowledges that we all have moments of weakness, doubt, and wrongdoing. When we come together as a we break free from the isolation of our struggles and realize that we are a part of a greater community. We are all human. We are all human, teaches my friend Claudia Gonzalez Romo, Edelman. We are all human. And that means anu matirin. Yeah, me too. Me too. I also do that, just like you. I also lose my temper. I'm also jealous. I also have shadow. And I say it off the bat. I had a friend, I've been writing our shadow statements and writing like in the third person. So I have my little one. I'm not going to share the whole thing. That would be a bit ridiculous. David can have an overly inflated sense of his specialness and uniqueness. As a cover for his belief that he is actually worse than others. He can often make plans and fail to execute them. That's enough. I'm selling it later, okay? The truth is, for those who know me, it's not that big a surprise, so. Even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times, come again, is the way that we begin. Throughout this 26 hours, we come in and don't celebrate our achievements, but all together say those words, anu, anu, or nu, at the end of a word, echatanu. How messy is Yom Kippur? How messy. We're in the kitchen. So we pray anu tonight, and throughout the day, our differences and the divisions are true, but we find solace and healing in the we that we are because we works. In hundreds of churches and synagogues each day, anu, we works in 12-step groups and in recovery circles. In each of those places, you can find the bear and its effects. I vividly remember sharing a personal piece of my own shadow with my Rebbe, Reb Zalman Schachter Shalomi of blessed memory, and in his warm, loving eyes, I saw love, not fear, acceptance, not shame. He told me too, he said, and that healed. Anu, we works, because our life's flourishing and mastery depends on seeing what is unknown and invisible to us. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, called this the shadow. We call them our blind spots. On Yom Kippur, we come together as a we to pray with the sinners because we need each other to see what we can't see alone. We need our community's collective wisdom and compassion to help us confront our shadow selves, our anger, our hurt, and jealousy. I'm privileged to begin reading a book by my friend Scott Osmond and his colleague Jacqueline Lane here tonight, who wrote it together with the coaching guru Marshall Goldsmith. It's a book called Becoming Coachable. And they describe 4 elements of an openness framework: being open to change, open to feedback, open to taking action, and open to accountability. The we can offer us feedback that we can't get in other places. We need Anu because we works. We can't become all that we're meant to be unless we have others showing us what we can't see. We can't be fully me when we can't see. The great Alan Liu wrote, every year just before Yom Kippur, I make a concerted effort to speak out the shadowy contents of my heart to another human being. I usually find myself speaking of things I've thought of 1,000 times before, of my anger, he writes, of my obstinacy, of my refusal to give up grudges I hold against people. He said, I know these things as well as I know the back of my own hand. I have thought these thoughts 1,000 times before, and still to get them out makes a tremendous difference. I often teach that at wedding ceremonies that I grew up in, there was a circling of the bride, and in ceremonies that I now do, there's a circling of the lovers. And I tell couples, the Hebrew word panim, which means face in Hebrew, has a numerical value. Each one of the Hebrew letters is a number in Hebrew. And the word panim, which means face, has a numerical value of 180. And so 2 faces make a full circle. I need you. As the Torah tells us, I need you because you go here where I can't see. You're my eyes. You show me my blind spots. Anu works because without it, we can't become who we're supposed to be. Anu works. We works. Because tonight, it's not just our own shadow that we include, but also a transgenerational Anu as well. We believe in our tradition that each and every Yom Kippur, all of our ancestors have shown up here tonight, and they'll be with us throughout the next 24 hours. We are born into shadow. We are born into elements that need healing and that need visibility, that need light. Anu works because we bring all of that pain forward, as if the sparks of ourselves, in the words of the great Satmar Rebbe, Rabbi Yoel Teitelbaum, the sparks of ourselves that we have repressed and thereby distorted, cry out to us on Yom Kippur from generations, please raise us up, reintegrate us into your being, bring us into the we that you are. Anu, we, works. And the last way that we works is one that is so vital at this particular moment, I think, in Jewish history. We works because it points away from ourselves and our own obsessions with the I and towards a much greater we, a much bigger North Star. It's something profoundly important to be able to know that an Anu is the sum total, but greater than all of the parts here. There is an Anu that transcends me and you and becomes a we. That we was the we, the people. It's the we that brought together a radical group of people to reclaim a small piece of land in the Middle East as a homeland and a refuge for the Jewish people. A we that transcends partisan divisions and ideologies, to do what's right for the sake of the we. We works because Anu, we are we. In the same way, our ancestors found a way to pray a prayer that would include everybody under a much bigger umbrella, Anu. Anu Matirin. How might we ascend to that place of Anu that could include a much broader swath of people, transcend divisions and differences in order to be Anu again? I watched a video of James Baldwin, the great African-American activist, who was saying, you know, love has always been an unpopular movement, he said. Love has always been an unpopular movement, he said. He said, people walk around, he said, walk around on the street, he said, look at people and say, that is me. That's me, that's me, that's Anu, that's not. Relationship, bridge building, a willingness to try at all costs to not separate ourselves, no matter how justified we feel from the other. We may fundamentally disagree with others, but we will find a way to remember our common humanity, our shared earth, our shared America, our shared family, our shared Israel. That's the Anu. Anu Matirin, Anu frees us. So we recognize that we are the Avaryanim. And we come into this space and we say, not them, but me too. We recognize that there's something profoundly human about being able to answer that call. We recognize that Anu, the me, needs the we, because without it, we can't see. I'll tell you one last thing, and I know it's late, but I usually go home to eat afterwards, so we're just hanging out, right? I mean, really, I hope no one's, reservations, it's, where you go. I think, I asked a friend of mine, dear friend of mine, I have a listening partner that I talk to every week, and we just listen to each other. And I love him so much, and he's been an unbelievable blessing to me in the last year. I find myself wanting to speak to him almost every day, and sometimes we do. And I asked him, what's your core strength, your core genius, your zone of genius? And he said, I want to be free, he said. I want to be free. That's my own paraphrasing. I feel similarly in a way, and I feel like this comes back to Scott, what you and Jacqueline and Marshall are talking about, which is like a deep desire to be better. Is like, it's heavy, better. Just to reduce the amount of suffering you cause yourself and others, and to maximize the amount of flourishing that you create in the world, right? So that your instrument is in tune with the world. Right, to leave your interactions with other people a little bit better than they were when you started, to leave your imprint in the world, to make the world slightly better because you were in it. And it kind of begins, I think, with a desire to see clearly, yeah? To see clearly, to see ourselves clearly. And one of the ways that I know in myself that I get in the way of that is when I think, oh, that's about them. Oh, it's them, right? It's them. Now, it is a lot of time about them. Let's just let's clear it. Whatever them is. But it's also about us. And so when the bear brings us into the kitchen, and people are bumping into people, and they think, oh, it's his fault, it's her fault, it's their fault, and then they immediately say, no, that was me. And then they say, you know what, we're in it together. Thank you for showing me the things I didn't see. This relationship matters because I get to grow because of that. I really screwed up. I really wasn't my best self. Thank you. Anu matirin litpalel im avayanim. We start off Yom Kippur with that proclamation. If I'm in the room, I'm an avaryan. If I'm in this room tonight, I'm here to think about my place in it, how I participate, and how I might ask for more feedback, more accountability, how I might shorten the gap between my inner world and my blaming world. Anu matirin litpalel mavayanim. It's funny that we wear white. We look so clean tonight. We wear these white garments as a way of saying that if our garments are soiled, im yu chataechem kashanim, says Isaiah, if you will be sinful in the way of crimson and red and blood, may it be cleansed. But we first have to see that. See those messes that are crying out for us to care for them and to bring them to the light of day. So I'm looking out at Anu. I'm saying, me too. We too. We, all of us here, with our shortcomings, with our fears, with the things that we hold on to in the places in our lives where we've caused damage, and we say, right? Me, I'll do the first step, me. And I want to say to anyone in this room, and anyone in my life, from the deepest part of my heart, work hard to be better, a better person, to see more of what I don't see and to ask others to show me more and to make it bearable, really. Because when it's unbearable, we don't go into the kitchen, we stay out on our table for 2 or 4, enjoy our nourishing meal. But that's not what Yom Kippur is all about, I think. So I'll ask you all in a second to take that in, to take a moment to think about the next 24 hours and what you might learn about yourself if you ask those questions. And then when you're ready, let's, Anu, let's rise together. remain standing if you are a mourner and reciting the mourner's Kaddish this evening. We lift up loved ones and all of those who are being remembered this particular Yom Kippur. We invite you to say the names of loved ones at this moment together out loud, as those online as well. Write the names of loved ones into the chat area. Just say your names of loved ones so we can hear them. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
אמן. ועלמא תברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ועמי הוויה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא. יתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי קדושה ויברכו. לעילה ולעילה מן כל ברכתה ושבתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה גם בגרן ועלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה משמיא וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
Psalm 27 on page 81, David Adonai, Orili Shiri Adonai. Middle of the page. All right. Just tomorrow. So as I say every year, stay with us, The day has a way of working on us. And whatever is happening tonight for you, be aware of it, It's hard. You're going to go outside, it's going to be busy. And, the day is going to become Sunday night in New York City. But if you can stay connected a little bit to what's happening in here, then when you come back tomorrow, or wherever you'll be, you'll bring this with you, and then that'll deepen. I often think of the prayers, and I know there are a lot of them. I just feel like they're softening, like they're like a meat tenderizer on my heart, Yeah, it's like little drops. It's like each song kind of makes me more available for when I'm going to hear more deeply tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at 8:30 we start our services, and then at 9:30 there'll be a tot service led by Shimon, and family services led by Shimon at 10:45. We love Shimon, everybody. We love Shimon. It's just Shimon. We don't have Yisker on here because we want you to come for the whole thing, but around somewhere between 10 and 1, you can kind of, there's going to be like a window in there. That's when Yisker is, okay? And breakout sessions will be at 3 o'clock, and we'll be back for Mincha and the Ila at 5, and that's tomorrow. I hope, you know, it's not Tisha B'Av, so I just want to, Tisha B'Av is like a very mournful holiday in our tradition, and Yom Kippur is, believe it or not, considered to be a yantiv. It's like a joyous holiday, even if the subject matter is intense. So I hope that you'll say hello to one another, right? And that the absence of food won't in some way make you hangry, or like you want, like, you know, just connect with each other, right? These are your friends along the way. And we look forward to having you join us again tomorrow on our way through Yom Kippur. We're going to ask you to please rise. I just want to do that song one more time. So we go out with it, okay? And just take it out with you and keep singing it. And then we come back, we'll bring it up again tomorrow. Yantiv online. Yantiv, everybody, be Yantiv.